The Sunday Roundtable has assembled the best, most powerful roundtable on television. We welcome Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh and Republican political analyst Ginny Buckingham. Did I overstate it a little bit? No, I didn't.
Not at all. Not at all. I agree with you.
Just want to make sure.
Maybe a little.
Okay.
So regardless of what you thought of last week's final debate, President Trump has redefined presidential debates. New rules, new parameters. Is this a new world order for future debates, regardless of who the candidates are? Let's start with you, Marianne.
I hope not, and it shouldn't, because the fact is we need to restore order, restore rules, and restore the consequences for not following them, because we've accommodated Donald Trump too much, and we need to do that to restore our country. So enough with Donald Trump, enough with accommodating him. If he leaves in January, great, but if somehow he manages to stay, we can't stay with him. We have to change.
Is Marianne dreaming, or is she right? Ginny?
No, I think she's right. I think Trump is a spectacle unto himself in terms of the debates, though that hasn't been all bad in terms of driving viewership and engagement. I think what's really changed is how you can use the debate moment in a campaign to drive the message afterwards. The ubiquity of media outlets and digital platforms means you kind of lose that opportunity.
So let's talk about the next topic is the face of Election Day here in Massachusetts. The only big mysteries on the Massachusetts ballot in 9 days are the referendum questions. If question 1 passes, and I'm not diminishing the candidates that are on the ballot, but I want to talk at the top. If question 1 passes, there is still the question of a uniform policy across state lines. Is it time for a federal law, or is there too much on Congress's plate to even go there? Ginny, let me start with you.
So it's hard to imagine Congress being able to come to agreement on this given the powers of the special interests behind the question. But what happened last time, let's remember this is just an update of a previous law, is the automakers came together and they reached an agreement, and it happened voluntarily.
And what do you think, Marianne?
Disclaimer, my colleague is working on the no side of this question. I support this question. Look, call me when we wrestle COVID to the ground, get everyone back to school, back to work, back to life, and our economy back on track. And maybe then we can do it, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Question 2, polling shows that may be a very close vote. Should voters, and this is complicated, be able to rank their choices if no one gets 50%, so that no candidate ends up being a spoiler? Or does ranked choice ranking disenfranchise less sophisticated voters? Ginny, start with you.
So I really think it's inherently anti-democratic to not have to choose who you want to represent you. That's what politics and elections are about. And politics is about coalition building and a game of addition, of attracting more voters, and it really takes away that kind of fundamental principle.
And what about you, Marianne?
Again, another disclaimer here. My colleague is on the yes side of this. I'm on the no side. The reason is, this might make sense 8 years from now or a year or two from now, but today, our democracy and our election is under the greatest threat of our history. Listen to what Richie Neal said at the top of this show. He cited Russia. He cited North Korea. He cited Iran. I would add China to this. The 2020 election, it is in more and more jeopardy than the 2016 election ever was, and now's not the time to change anything to do with it. We need to protect this election and do reforms later.
All right, the next item is something that you were just talking about a few minutes ago, Marianne, and it's the, okay, there are these things going on, but let's deal with the pandemic first. Let's get our life together. So did Mayor Walsh wait too long to shut down Boston schools completely? It was primarily special ed students that were going into the classrooms, but he waited until the positive test rate exceeded 5%. Marianne, let me start with you.
Look, Marty Walsh tried to get the most vulnerable students back into school because every student needs school, but they need it the most. Unfortunately, it didn't work. Remember, right now, more than 77 communities in Massachusetts are in the red zone, including Boston, and you have to take that seriously. No one's coming to save us. It's on every single one of us to do all the things we need to do. Masks, shut it down, small gatherings, and all of that. And it beats the alternative, because 9,600 people in this state have died of COVID, and their families miss them too.
Ginny, did he wait too long to shut the schools down?
No, he did the right thing at the right time. These decisions are incredibly heartbreaking, and as Marianne noted, the students that were in school were the ones that need it the most, and I think he struck a balance that is really hard on everyone.
I'm going to go to Italy, but it's an issue that affects all of us here in Massachusetts. Pope Francis wandered from church doctrine this past week, and he endorsed same-sex civil union laws. So how soon before we're likely to hear the other shoe drop on this one, Marianne?
Not soon enough, and good for the Pope. Unfortunately, Cardinal O'Malley felt the need to be the translator for Pope Francis, putting words in his mouth and intentions he did not purport. And it's not the first time O'Malley's done it, but it should be the last time, especially the fact that he's cardinal in Massachusetts. Massachusetts has a proud, long record on gay rights and gay marriage, but Cardinal O'Malley should just keep his own thoughts to himself and let the Pope speak for himself.
Ginny?
I mean, I think we should applaud progress and compassion and empathy and grace, which I think is what Pope Francis showed, and I think it's what Cardinal O'Malley tried to convey as well. Do I think we're going to go farther in the Catholic Church? Maybe not, but this should be applauded.